We're live. Music.
Hey, hi.
There we go.
How you
Hi.
doing?
Okay, cool.
Hey.
All right, so I should see the little thing pop up. There it is. Boom. Dude, we haven't been.
Feels like we haven't been here in forever.
We haven't been here in a while.
No, we have not.
Here,
We've been gone. We've been gone.
What do I say here?
Gone for a little bit.
Okay, so we did the chop and swizzle.
Yep. Shout out to Chef Dick.
Shout out to Chef Dick, who is now announced he had a big announcement today.
He did.
That
big
was
announcement
pretty cool.
is $3.30 off
Off of volume of what?
on the computer.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on, guys.
Just
Standing by.
Stand by, folks.
Just tell me what to do.
What would you like us to do?
Can you check and see if you got any volume?
I did.
Feedback on your.
And it came through on my phone.
It's working. Do a sound. Do a sound.
I just got nothing of it.
Hold on.
Got it.
I hear it in his computer.
And I can hear it through his.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good.
You just don't have it? That's
All
weird.
right, I'm gonna do my share thing.
Yeah, let's. I just shared.
Okay, so $3.30
Off everything except oysters.
and this is an Akron. This is an Akron thing. Akron working together
Yeah.
every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, folks.
from henceforth. How cool is
Wednesday.
that? We created something.
We did.
by doing our town hall, guys.
Dude,
So
those Cuban egg rolls, I'm still thinking about
man.
them. I'm still thinking about the food. The food was
I
amazing.
have to share this.
Yes.
Keep talking. Talk
I
about
will
the
keep
other stuff.
talking. And then shout out to St. V.
Who?
They won another division title.
Who? I went to Hoban.
I know you did.
Come on, man.
Where did LeBron go? Oh, that's right. St. V. Got it.
I went to Hoban.
Better high school. What? Oh.
No, that's not even debatable.
No.
Argue worthy. That's not even debatable.
No.
Okay.
Basketball.
Good job,
worthy.
St. V. Good job, Coach Drew Joyce. I think you broke a high school record, right?
Congratulations,
Yay.
St. V.
Okay, and half of those were with LeBron, but we're not bringing that up.
We love LeBron.
Marion Local.
Marion.
Those monster kids. Remember,
Yeah.
they won the state championship in football.
Yep.
We covered them, right?
We did.
They won the state championship in basketball.
See, that's
The same
they're pretty
The
loaded.
same group of kids.
That's good.
Are you kidding me?
That's fantastic.
Come on, man.
Your alma mater almost won a title too
Those
for
guys.
women's basketball, but they unfortunately came up short.
Ashland?
Yeah,
Again?
yeah, they got beat.
Oh, no.
They
were
got
like
beat. It was a close
undefeated
game,
for
though.
like 3 years.
It was a close game.
Cody Kessler.
Yeah, goodbye.
No, it could be
See
nice. Would you be nice, please?
Why? What did he do for me? Why do I have to be nice to him? What did he do for me? Go hold your clipboard in Jacksonville, sir. See ya. Enjoy getting paid to stand on the sidelines.
I have to share this.
Go ahead. You've been saying that.
Are live now.
We know Hank can't multitask. We are well aware.
Oops. Wow.
Oops.
Hoops
Yeah.
and dogs.
Can we talk about the team that got walloped last night? They
South-
can't win in South Beach.
South Beach flu,
They
baby.
can't do it.
South Beach flu.
I'll tell you what, Dwayne Wade looks 20 years younger since we dealt him away.
Listen.
Just saying.
Listen. Okay.
I miss Dwayne
South
Wade.
Beach and
Get more playing time.
Yeah, I know.
South
he's
Beach.
home.
Who was that?
That was Moon Man.
What?
Moon Man now has a microphone.
What?
Excuse me.
Oh,
What?
Hey, Satan is here.
South Beach flu is a real thing, and it's as bad as the Strand from LA.
Can
So LA flu
can we face them in the first
and
round?
South Beach flu are similar. Okay.
Can anybody help? If the playoffs start today,
All right.
could
hey,
we get
forget
Miami?
all this nonsense. Before we start our show, folks, remember this Friday, and it's weird because it's Good Friday, so I feel kind of bad running a contest that day. Okay.
Yeah.
But this Friday is our 330 to go selfie contest. So
Yes,
if
it
you have a
is.
shirt that says 330 on it, take it from work, take a picture. Take a picture at work with the sign from where you work or whatever. It says 330 to go. Here I am. I'm at work wearing my shirt, and it could be a 330 shirt. And at that point, you submit it to our page, and we will take whoever enters. We'll take those pictures. We're going to randomly draw your name out of that, and we're giving away an Acme gift card.
Can I draw?
Now, listen, not only are we giving away a gift card, but we're going to give whoever that wins that will have the opportunity to literally hijack our show.
That's
They'll be
awesome.
able to pick the topic, be on the show, and if they want to, they can run some of it as well.
Wow.
Woosah.
Woosah.
I
Okay.
like it.
I think it's a neat idea.
Can I draw the name?
You can draw the name if you want to.
I would love to draw the name.
Point being, so somebody gets to hijack the show and kick me off the air, which is fine because I talk too much. But that's our 330 to go selfie contest.
Yeah,
that is on 330 day, which is March 30th, this Friday. So make sure you send those pictures in wherever you're at work.
Explain that they don't have to wear a 330 to go shirt. It can be any.
It can be any
Acronym.
three.
No. That's not. No.
Hold on.
I don't know.
There's
a lot of. Well, okay, let's have a clarification.
We don't have
Where's the
official.
voice that
We don't-
We don't have
no.
official 330 to go shirts. And
Oh,
if we
you know
did-
what? I'm glad you brought that up because we're about to. What? Did I just make a live breaking news announcement?
I believe you did.
Yes, we're going to have 330 shirts. The ones that we wear are going to be available soon to the public. What I'm saying is right now, people have 330 shirts that have the numbers 330 on them.
Correct.
And if they have those, they wear them. They take their picture. We put them in the drawing. They can win.
Let's
We-
see some photos.
We cool?
I
Or do
think
you
so.
want to just do Akron and Canton too? Anything that says anything like that?
No, 330 is fine. I just
330
wanted to
is
clarify
awesome.
because
Yeah.
people see the shirts, they think, "Oh, I don't have one of those shirts, so I can't participate."
Right.
folks.
Those shirts aren't available yet, so they can wear
No.
any 330 shirt.
Hey, Up High Media just checked in, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be involved with the 330 shirts coming up.
What's up, Wikipedia?
I think we've already talked too much off script, so
We
I
have.
suppose we should do a show.
Let's do a show.
We've got a great show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to 330 to go. I'm your host, Hank Forrester, coming to you live from Stakeout Studios overlooking the rolling plains of Hardesty Park. In tonight's episode, we take a deep dive into the state of men's college basketball. We also get to hear from the Summit County Animal Control regarding our recent show on pet adoption. But before we do that, we're once again joined by the golden tones of Roddy Voorhees.
How you doing, Hank?
Just living the dream.
Living the dream, Roddy.
I think you're living the dream.
Yes, I am.
Tonight, folks, our episode is brought to us by LaBelle's Barber Parlor. You're going to hear that name a lot this year. LaBelle's is located inside what is now known as the East End, which are the Goodyear historical buildings. Their state-of-the-art facility boasts big screen TVs, a coffee bar, and they have compressed air at every station. It's like being in a hunting lodge living room. They are now open and taking appointments. Call 330-472-0497 and tell them Hank sent you. You can find them on Facebook and online as well. And let me tell you, they will make you look good. Even you.
Well,
Hank. Even you.
yeah, I'm number 2 all the way. Okay, I'm number 2 all the way. All right, so this is more applicable to you because first,
no.
well, first off, right, they do offer shaves, full
They
shaves,
do.
head
They do.
shaves, okay, and they offer beard trims and all that stuff, hot towels, the whole deal, right? So they got a full menu of options.
That's awesome.
But seriously, I was in with the owner this past weekend. They literally have compressed air at every station. Like you know how back in the day when Mom was cutting your hair, she'd put that big inflatable square tube thing around your head,
Yes.
and it would all fall off, and then she'd have the little brush, and she would brush you off, right? They just go.
And
And it's
spray
gone.
off.
It's
Yep.
done. And it's like, are
That's
you
awesome.
kidding me? Like, why didn't people think of doing this years and years and years ago? So,
I'll tell you what, I may need a beard trim, so
so
I'm
yeah,
gonna be
definitely, folks, make sure
calling
you
them up.
check out LaBelle's. Again, that's the East End. That whole area around the historic Goodyear buildings has all been remodeled. And LaBelle's is literally in the center of it. So men, you'll love it. I promise.
and the ladies will love it too because you'll look good.
Yeah,
Just saying.
they still have some appointments available to get that Easter cut in, so you got to hurry. All right, so yeah, so there's there we go with LaBelle's. So they're going to be a regular sponsor of ours, so we're real excited to bring them on board as a partner. Dude, college hoops, baby.
I know, right?
So we got a fantastic mess on our hands, and the thing about college hoops right now, it's a beautiful mess. Okay. Because this is what people look for is they look for the opportunity to have chaos, okay?
Yep.
And right now, the number 1 selling bobblehead in America is Sister Jean.
Shout out to Sister Jean.
Well, anyway, here's what's funny. The funny part. I'm sorry, you were going to talk. We just talked about this. That we need to work. We need to work on my interrupting.
I'm telling you what, my bracket was busted after day 2.
What's
I don't
a
know
bracket?
about yours.
What's a bracket,
dude? It was bad. It's probably the worst it's been for me. But,
okay.
But I love it. I love March Madness is my favorite time of year. I love watching games because it is all about the David and Goliath matchups and watching teams like Loyola.
Well, here's the thing about Loyola,
Full
right?
upsets.
They're Catholic.
Yep.
And Notre Dame's like, now wait a second. We're the world's Catholics, okay? Now all of a sudden Loyola is this beloved Chicago Catholic. Like the game was over within 30 seconds. All the Willis Tower and the Hancock Building lit their spires up in, I think their colors are Cavs colors, the maroon and gold, aren't they?
Yep.
Whatever they are. So
wine and gold.
Yeah, wine and gold, something like that. The whole point is Chicago like lit up like, hey, what? All right. So it's nice seeing a team like that do what they're doing because, you know, when it comes tournament time, secretly, if our team is out, which, by the way, they were relevant, so I was happy with the way
they look
performed.
good round 1, round 2.
They played
came up a little short.
That's how it goes,
that's
right?
all
but
it is.
The point is, once your team's out, you automatically start rooting for all those upsets.
Exactly.
You know? So here's the thing, though. The going into the tournament, there was a lot of concern because of the current state of college basketball. By the way, before we go on, let's do a little hat tip to the women. And the problem with women's hoops is it's either over or it's not based on what happens with UConn. So, you know, when you're watching the women's bracket, the first question is, okay, well, did UConn win? And everyone goes, well, yeah, okay, well, then didn't
they beat their first round opponent this year by like 170
140
points?
To
something ridiculous.
140 to 60 or something.
Stop it.
The point is, Gino Auriemma has a stranglehold on women's basketball.
Exactly.
And last year it was a big deal because South Carolina beat them, right?
Yes.
And now this year UConn beat South Carolina back, and now it's like UConn's.
It's not over yet,
yeah.
but yeah, they look pretty dominant.
So, yeah, wait. Jess, friend of show, related to Moon Man.
Whoa.
Now listen.
Hold on.
I college basketball.
You better choose your words carefully right now.
What? Listen.
I could say something.
Women's college basketball rises and falls with UConn.
It does.
I love you, Jess. You can argue that all you want to, but it makes it almost to the point where it's kind of unwatchable because there's no drama. There's no drama with the women's tournament. There is with the men's. Okay. The problem is,
what is a layup?
What is a layup? Did that just get said out loud? That just got said out loud. Oh, this is an inside joke from the Moon
Love
Man
you,
and
Jess.
his wife. Wow,
That was unfair.
I didn't do it. He's like in trouble now.
You know what?
You got him in trouble without even doing it.
Moon Man, I got you.
All right, so the biggest issue this year, leading up to the tournament, is there was so many scandals.
Yes.
Did you take any notes on any of that? You got anything?
No, I was too disgusted to be honest with you.
The biggest problems are with what's going on with Louisville, Arizona, and MSU.
Yep.
Specifically MSU, folks. I don't know if you saw.
MSU, folks, is Michigan State.
Was it 6 weeks ago? Was about 6 weeks ago. There was a special that was right after SportsCenter. So SportsCenter concluded, and the hour afterward was on all of the scandals and the sexual assaults that were running rampant throughout college basketball, and their focus was specifically on Michigan State.
It's so unbelievable.
And they talked not only about the football program, but heavily about the basketball program, to the point where Twitter's a very angry place about Michigan State right now because, you know, if I remember correctly, the doctor that was the gymnastics,
Larry Nasser.
Yeah, so he was also the
Nasser, whatever,
team athletic doctor for
Correct.
Michigan State, right?
Yep.
So the point is, there's been a tremendous upheaval with the Me Too movement in regards to women's, issues on campus. And Michigan State has been front and center with that. And then on top of that, now you throw in, and we'll get to it later. We'll talk about it later at the end. But at Louisville with Pitino, Louisville. Louisville. There's so many scandals around that program as well. They got books about it. You know, you got a madam that's running a prostitute house that all of a sudden now the team gets brought into that, and then Pitino ends up losing his job over that. And now there's more coming out that in regards to all the payouts that could potentially be happening and all that. So
I had so much respect for Rick Pitino because I thought he was a phenomenal basketball coach. And I still think that he is. But the same thing goes with Tom Izzo at Michigan State. How do you let this stuff go on? You can't tell me they didn't know. You can't tell me they didn't know.
The problem, okay, it's not whether they know or whether they don't know. How can we judge that? How do we know? Here's the thing. There have to be layers of deniability. So you got your coach, you got your assistant coaches, you got your grad assistants, and you got everybody that's in the program that are all working with the players, okay? Whatever's going on with the players, I'm assuming is directly affiliated with like grad assistants and those guys that are working directly with them all the time on a daily basis. Whether or not the coach knows is always the question. Obviously, the biggest case that we know about with this was like Joe Paterno with Sandusky, and that went back decades. So how do you determine, I guess, in a court of law what a coach does or does not know? And then on top of that, what is the coach responsible for? They always say that the program has lost institutional control. And when you reach that point, at what level do our coaches to be held accountable?
That's true.
And Rick had burnt out his credibility and had burnt out his chips of get out of jail free. Yeah. I think he was involved with, wasn't he the one that was having an affair and they were meeting at a restaurant?
Yes.
And then locking the door type deal. And the guy says, just, let yourself out when you're done type deal. So he had all that going on. And then on top of that, then you had this issue with the players. So as soon as when the things start adding up and they start lining up like that and stacking on top of each other, that's when a coach must go. So the thing about Izzo right now, Izzo's a fantastic basketball coach. We all know this.
He is one of the best.
It's always been said, he's always been compared to a football coach. People have always said that Tom Izzo is like a football coach running a basketball program. Okay. And the issue there is, he's rough, tough, and gruff. Okay.
Yeah.
Gruff. Did I say gruff?
I did say gruff.
Really? You're going to do that now? No. Okay. All right. So
that would have been a perfect tie-in.
I didn't say McGruff.
That was.
You're not doing it?
You want to go outside? You got to go tinky poo-poo.
I already went. Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. The point is, though, with Izzo, what we run into there is now he's this fantastic coach.
Yep.
He's been there for forever.
Yeah.
And now he's under fire. And his program's under fire. And the question is, where do you hold the coach accountable for everything else that's going on underneath him? So, what they're running into right now is the problem is he doesn't help his cause because when he's being interviewed,
he deflects so well.
Number one, he deflects, but number two, he says things like, and Jeremy just joined. Correct us if I'm wrong, Jeremy, but Izzo will say things like, well, I've been under fire all week, or I've taken enough bullets for this team. I mean, you want to talk about a bad phrase to use in today's current culture?
Yep.
I've taken bullets and I've deflected for my team. Okay, we get that, and that's okay to think that way and to say that back in the past. But right now, when you're that coach and you're in charge of that institution, you cannot deflect all of that away and say, well, you owe me the respect to at least, that's the problem. The movement that has started right now is no longer holding on to that. The whole Me Too concept and the whole concept of, when you're dealing with this situation, it's not something that will just go away anymore. Right. It's now here to stay, and coaches are going to have to deal with it. Okay. So,
and we didn't even talk about Arizona.
We're going to get to that. We'll talk about that scandal at the end. Okay. But the next part of that is we're here in the middle of the NCAA tournament, right? So how is your bracket, folks? Do you even have a bracket that's left? My point is that as a father, who do you want to coach your kids? Oh, Jess, stop. I love you even if you don't know what a layup is. You too. I am not going to let Moon Man and Mrs. Moon take over and derail a college basketball show based on what a layup is. Y'all need to stop. Say something. Go ahead.
This is going on in the comments. We're not interrupting you. You interrupted yourself.
He did. Moon Man, I got you.
All right, so here we are. It's tournament time. It's the time of year where money is made hand over fist regarding college basketball.
Yep.
First of all, how's your bracket?
Dead last.
Dead last in which?
In our 330.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding. I am dead last.
I haven't I picked, just so truth be told, just so everybody knows where I'm at, I picked the Purdue Boilermakers to win it all.
Good choice.
And then game number 1, their big senior 7-foot center broke his hand. So I was like, whoosh, whoosh. I mean, they still won a couple games. But
didn't he play in a game? Didn't they make
No. He played game 1.
Horrible turn of events.
They were trying to make
Horrible.
a brace for his arm.
Yeah, he played game 1, and then the interesting part was they had another 7-footer, a freshman, take his place. He played well, but he wasn't that dominant presence like a senior would be. What did I just say? Did I just compare a freshman and a senior?
Yeah, what is that?
Gee, what does that have to do with what we're about to talk about? I have no idea.
Why would you do that?
The point is, so the tournament makes money hand over fist, like millions and millions and millions of dollars. How much of that revenue goes to the players?
Crickets.
How much?
I would think a lot.
Check the stats. How many goes to the players? How much of that money goes to the players?
A little bit of a
How much?
allowance, right?
Allowance based on what? The advancement or the team or the program or what? Who determines that? Okay, so how much money does the players make during the course of the year?
Not much.
How much money? How much money does a player get paid to play college basketball?
0.
You get nothing.
Oh,
You lose.
Oh, no.
Good day, sir.
They get a scholarship and they get an education. And then there's their likeness playing on a video game, making $1 bajillion for the video game industry.
Yeah.
But they don't get any of that revenue. They don't get any of that money. When I was a collegiate athlete, did I say that correctly? Collegiate? When I was a collegiate athlete.
Many years ago.
Many years ago, when I was a collegiate, thanks for that. When I was a collegiate athlete, I worked in the athletic room, washing stuff, and I was a tour guide. So my job on campus was I was an admissions tour guide. Okay, so I got paid a stipend. I got X amount of dollars, and it went toward my money, whatever. But the point is, what will happen right now? These kids are not getting paid to play basketball. They're making the university $1 bajillion, and they're not getting paid anything. So what they do is they go and they work in the equipment room for 1 hour a week, and they end up getting a $2,000 check for 1 hour, okay?
Yep.
And it's legally done by the university. But the point is the kids are not making money playing ball. Why? Okay? That's a big topic right now around the country.
And just to go back to our bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in 8th place.
What am I in?
You're in 6th.
Okay.
Moon Man's in 5th.
Long as I'm not in 8th.
Horrible turn of events.
Dead last.
That's
Horrible.
fine. I'm good with that.
I picked Michigan State. Thanks, Tom Izzo, for letting me down.
Yeah, see, now you're blaming him for the
I
players.
am going to blame him.
See how that goes both ways? You
I
blame
know.
Izzo for the players and the players for Izzo. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so moving on to the next topic then, and that is the state of college basketball in regards to the one-and-done phenomenon.
This one
Okay.
and done.
So
Scott, what is the one and done?
it's interestingly enough, the one-and-done started with a guy by the name of Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony.
I've heard of
Remember
him.
that? You remember that guy?
I've heard of his name.
What?
You mean the term one and done, or the first time a player left college after the first year?
The one-and-done phenomenon started with Carmelo Anthony.
You sure about that?
I am sure about that. You want to know why? Because there's a guy by the name of LeBron James who was the last player to come directly from high school
They were in the same
into
draft
the
class.
NBA.
Was he the exact last player to come straight from high school?
I am 100% positive.
They were in the same draft class. I do
Correct.
know that.
And
Correct.
Carmelo played. No. Don't get this wrong, guys. Carmelo played with Syracuse
For 1 year.
For 1 year.
for 1 year.
But he's
He
not
was,
the first person to do the one and done.
no. The whole concept where it became a mandatory one and done was after LeBron. LeBron was the last. Okay.
What does that have to do with Carmelo?
Carmelo was the last player or the first player to be really part of that one and done phenomenon.
No,
Based
because
on
they
the
came
rule.
out the same year.
I could be wrong.
They came out the
They
exact,
did. That's why
in
I'm
the
saying
draft.
they
That's-
were in the same draft. There was no way Melo was the first.
Wrong, sir. Wrong. You get
I believe Moon shut us both down.
Was I just proven wrong on the air?
I believe that you were. That's a first.
Okay, the year after that.
Fact.
The year after that. My point is,
We just lost 2 followers. Thanks.
Well done.
I quit. I quit. My credibility is shot.
No, it's not. Stop it.
Calm down, baby.
Carmelo
you.
was the first.
Stop. But you better word this right.
Carmelo was the first time that the one and done phenomenon
No.
was truly recognized as
No.
one and done.
No.
He's not even gonna let you finish a
With
sentence.
Syracuse,
No.
And they won a national
won the
championship.
national championship.
No.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they won. But listen, guys, they came out the same year.
They did.
They came out the same
I'm
year.
agreeing with
The
what
year
you're
foul.
saying.
Just keep Carmelo's name out your mouth.
Oh.
It makes no sense.
Okay.
I didn't
Stand
say I didn't say my position correctly.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
try again.
I'll say it again and I'll try and make it correctly.
This is good. Okay, everybody, listen.
LeBron and Carmelo come out. Okay. Carmelo is part of a one and done phenomenon. The year after LeBron, it became mandatory. Did I say that right now? The year after LeBron, you had to go to college.
Let's dive into
You
the
could
fact
no
check here.
longer
95% true. Like
you
sure,
could
you're
no longer go from high school to the NBA. Okay? As a result, we have now been living for 15 years with the one and done phenomenon. Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, Villanova, Arizona, all the big programs use the one and done. Louisville, okay? Everybody here is fact checking me right now.
We are. 'cause
Let's
we
hope
want
that
to-
I get this one right. Okay.
We want to be right.
So
in what
how
we-
does that affect the NBA? Does the product on the court suffered? Has the product suffered? What are the changes in the works? So right now, Adam Silver is now coming up with, okay, well, now they're going to potentially allow high school kids to come straight to the NBA, but they're going to put them down in the G League. So in other words, they'll have a developmental league that'll be set up strictly for direct high school to NBA players. All right? You guys are done fact checking me yet?
Well,
is anybody going to
the-
argue with me on that one?
the first
We're going to let that
major-
one go.
1968 is what I have found.
Oh,
so far.
stop it.
I'm
Focus on the current, okay? The point is, when the rule was changed was the year after LeBron and Carmelo, okay? That year it was changed, okay?
That is correct.
As a result, we're now dealing with
Dwight Howard was the #1 pick in 2004, and he came straight to the NBA.
2004.
Yes, he came straight from high school. He did not go to college.
That cannot be correct.
It is correct.
That can't be
I
right.
just looked it up. Yes, Dwight Howard came straight to the NBA from college or from
Clear
high
as
school.
crystal.
Give me the year. I'm dying over here.
Dwight
you guys
Howard
are killing me right
was
now.
2004. After 2004,
2005, the years. The
2005, they changed the rules.
All right, so in 2005,
we'll get there eventually, folks.
we are deleting this show.
Are we going home?
We're deleting this show. In 2005, okay, right after LeBron and after
Carmelo.
Dwight Howard and after Carmelo, okay, I hate all of you right now. This sucks.
Bruh.
This sucks because I actually did research, but not to the point where I
Boss
went
said
into
it was
detail.
okay.
Boss said it was okay. Sure he did.
It's okay.
The
It's
point
all right.
is, the point is, now the current rule is it's one and done.
You got to play at
okay?
least
You
one
gotta
year,
play 1 year
of college.
in college
Right.
before you can go to the NBA.
All right, calm
Am
down.
I right?
Calm down.
Am I right?
That's right.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Calm down.
All right, so
Calm
here we
down.
go. I'm calm. I'm calm.
Are you sure?
I'm calm.
All right.
So the point is, man, I hope Sam didn't tune in for this episode. If-
I don't know who.
yeah, I just
Sam
yeah,
is.
I just let it go. But I hope he's not
Let
watching
it
this
go.
one. All right, so the point is, do you like upsets, and are they even upsets?
We'll do it live.
And the reason is because the one and done phenomenon. I breathe. All right, I'm breathing. The one and done phenomenon has completely messed up the entire
It
paradigm.
has changed the foundation of college basketball.
So I got to breathe. So what So what you're dealing with now is seniors versus freshmen.
Yep.
When you see these teams like VCU, George Washington,
No, George Mason.
George Mason, Gonzaga a few years back.
Yeah.
when you see these they call them mid majors, right? The mid majors,
right?
They're seniors.
The Boise State of college football.
They're Boise States of college football. They're playing against freshmen. So regardless of however you view the talent level of those freshmen, they're one and done. They're just here to play and they go to the NBA. When you get a group of seniors that's been playing together for 3 or 4 years and they're playing against freshmen, they're going to win more often than not. So that's where the Loyolas come from. So that's why I ask, are they even really upsets anymore? I mean,
according to their seeds, they are.
By the seeds, okay? But at the end of the day.
Which is a joke in itself, and that's a whole nother topic,
but
a whole nother rat hole.
At the end of the day, you seed all these teams.
Yep.
There's all these crazy upsets. Everybody's brackets get thrown away. There isn't a perfect bracket left in the country. And then you look at the Final Four, and it's a 1, a 1, a 3, and Loyola.
And an 11.
A 1, a 1, a 3, and an 11.
Yep.
But the point is, no matter what, it always kind of balances out. I mean, all these crazy upsets happen, right? And I mean, right now, the whole country, including Sister Jean, is hoping that Loyola makes it a championship. Because if Loyola makes it to the championship game, the TVs across the country are going to melt.
They'll be a guaranteed number one.
They'll probably beat the Super Bowl in terms of viewership. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
But the thing about that is, there's 2 strikes against them. Number one, these teams have now had an opportunity to scout them and see everything on film.
Yep.
Because that's why the term is always used: survive in advance, survive in advance. Okay. That's all well and good, because what happens is, as you get further in the tournament, then you get these breaks, and once you get those breaks, you can prepare for the next team.
And what do? You
get time to watch film. You get time to scout them. Okay.
Exactly.
So that's working against him. And then the other part of that is, Sister Jean was asked point blank, "What did you give up for Lent?" And she said, "Losing."
Well,
Lent ends Friday.
Oh.
so
did she realize that?
Lent ends on Friday, okay? And they're playing.
Don't say it.
They're playing.
Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare say it. Don't.
Is Todd watching right now?
Don't do it.
They're playing.
Hank, I swear to you, don't say it.
They're playing.
We bleed scarlet and gray, brother. Don't do it.
Look what we're wearing.
I understand that. Just say the team up north and be done with it.
They're playing them.
Yes.
They're playing them. Are you turning?
Oh, he's turning your mic off. Thank you.
They're playing them. Okay. Not only are they playing them,
that team up north.
Them. They shouldn't even be in the tournament. Did you see the shot the kid made in the opening game?
Yeah.
Just to get them in, stay alive?
Yeah.
They're playing them.
The wonders of college basketball.
So, yeah, there's that. All right. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we know in our heart of hearts that the smaller schools have a very difficult time winning 6.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They just do.
6 in a row. Yes, that's a lot.
And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're not used to being on the big stage.
Yep.
And with each game, the stage gets bigger, because when you're in those opening round games, you ever been to an opening round game up at Cleveland or anything? Opening round games, there's usually 2, sometimes 3 games in one arena that day.
Yep.
So what'll happen is the fans will buy one ticket and they get to watch all the games. So now the fans are all split up. So you got 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams that are all represented by their fans in one arena. Okay. When you move further into the tournament, now it's just the 2 teams. And when it's just the 2 teams, the teams that travel better are the ones that win the arena. So, for example, when you get a when you get a blah, 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 blah.
Don't do it.
When you get them versus Loyola will have that underdog factor. So anybody that's there to cheer neutrally will naturally cheer for Loyola. Okay.
Yeah.
But the rest of the arena will all be them. Okay. So, that's why it's so hard for those teams to win 6. Okay.
All I have to say is I believe Loyola will make history. I think they are going to defeat them.
Do you really?
I honestly do.
They are good.
You want to know why?
They are good at basketball.
Because Loyola has been led in scoring by a different player every game.
Woo!
So somebody different has stepped up every game to lead them to win. It's not one player.
And they're good.
They are good.
They're good. I mean, let's give them credit. And they're old. If you check, they're mostly juniors and seniors. on that team.
The current record right now is the 8th seeded Villanova Wildcats winning the national title.
Hey, D, you may want to scroll. You're behind. We've got. Oh, look at Mom-in-Law. Mom-in-law is
Cincinnati. I had them in the final.
Well,
four.
and Xavier just lost
their head coach.
Their head coach is going to coach
to Louisville.
Okay, so that's a loss to the Dayton area, and then Cincinnati. I mean, my brother-in-laws, and I texted all of them. I bruh, like halfway through the game, and then at the end of the game, bedlam, because
Cincinnati was beating Nevada.
Oh,
I
man.
turned the game and was watching something else, and then I saw it on the scroll on the bottom that said Nevada pulls upset.
22 points.
And I took my bracket at that point
and I
tore it up.
Truth be told, ready? So I got 3 nephews right now currently at Cincinnati. The 4th nephew has just committed to Cincinnati. I have 1 brother-in-law, 2 brother-in-laws, 3 brother-in-laws. I have 4 brother-in-laws that went to Cincinnati. Okay. So my whole family dynamic down south
they love the Bearcats.
They are all Bearcat everything.
That's fantastic.
All I hear about is, I'm the lone. Me and Jen are the lone Ohio State fans, right? So when we get together for Easter and for Christmas, we just get it. We get it the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
So when
talk to me when Cincinnati actually has a football team.
Well, yeah, and that's why I always say let's play football.
Let's play football.
But when Ohio State actually wins a game, and then you got what happened when
I would have loved to have seen the Bearcats and the Buckeyes basketball
that would have
teams
been nice.
It would have been a good game.
They were in there, the same bracket, weren't they? I think they were. I think they were. The point is, regardless, it leaves so much to be desired because I constantly have to be defending a school that I am just a fan of. I didn't even go to, and that's what they all say. You didn't even go there. I'm like, well, I'm allowed to be a fan, And they're like,
are there rules now? The team you can be a fan
for? You got to be an alma mater.
Stop it.
You got to be an alma mater to root.
Stop it.
So the point is, guys, the tournament itself, it has a tendency to balance out. It takes time, and that's why, because you see the teams catch up. Oh, we got a call coming in. We may have to skip. Yeah.
Stand by.
All right, hold on one second. This is Hank.
Hank, hi, it's Greta and Carrie. How are you?
Greta, how are you? We're going to finish up on topic 1. It'll take us 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
All right, so just hold the line real quick.
Okay.
All right, folks, so once again, the tournament has a tendency to balance itself out. We'll do a separate episode or a separate discussion on the coaching scandals. Right now, the NCAA is in a lot of trouble. The college hoops is in a lot of trouble with the NCAA in regards to these FBI wiretaps that are running hot right now. And a lot of these coaches are finding themselves in hot water. So we're going to wrap up college basketball right now, folks. But thank you for contributing, and thank you for being a part of that discussion. Jess and Moonman, you guys can figure out later what a layup is.
Oh my gosh.
It's up to you guys to take care of that. But right now, we are going to turn our show over. Now, a few weeks ago, we did a show. It was in regards to pet adoption in and around the 330. We had a friend of the show, Ashley. She was on that was talking. She's representative from Pitties and Kitties, and she's
watching now.
She's watching now. Okay. Yep. And in addition to that, we also had interviewed one of a kind pets, and our dog Hankster. He's a one of a kind pet. So we had a show in regards to pet and animal adoption, specifically focusing on dogs. And during the show, there were some things that were said that may or may not have been factual or may not have been overly passionate. So the Summit County Animal Control did get a hold of us, and they did want an opportunity to respond to some of the things that were said during that show. So right now, I'd like to introduce Greta. Who's with you? Is it Craig?
No, I've got Carrie Goffey. She's the office manager at Animal Control.
So we got Greta and Carrie. Everybody, give a big round of applause to Greta and Carrie. Everybody. All right, so right now, ladies, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And right now, I'm going to start. Right now, I'm just going to shut up and be quiet, and I'm going to let you talk for a bit. And obviously, you guys had some things to say, so I'm going to let you say that first. And then I did have some questions that I did prepare. So, if we run a little short or whatever, I'll go ahead and ask those after that, okay?
Sure. Well, thank you. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to come on and talk about what really goes on at Summit County Animal Control. We appreciate that opportunity. So unfortunately, there was some misinformation that was put out there a few weeks ago when you had one of our former volunteers on. So I wanted to make sure that we had some of our staff from Animal Control on to dispel any rumors, get the real facts out there, and let everyone in the community and to the 330 listeners know what great work is going on down at Summit County Animal Control. We actually just released some of our numbers this week. We have a 92% live release rate, which is phenomenal. It's the best in the state. And Carrie, if you want to talk a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, I mean, there's some different ways that you can calculate it. What we did was just a basic Asilomar, I believe is how you pronunciate it, calculation that the ASPCA put out there, which is where I don't know if you guys saw it that we posted on the Facebook, but basically the formula for that is your live outcomes divided by all outcomes minus your unhealthy, untreatable owner, your owner surrendered, owner euthanasia requested animals. So a lot of people are like, oh, that means they put every owner surrender down that came into the facility, and that's, not the case. Of all the owner surrenders that came in, we were able to adopt out 133 dogs and 372 cats, which is pretty impressive. Let me add to the strays we were able to adopt out. Our totals were 699 cats and 762 dogs. So we felt pretty confident about that. We seem to, when we look at our numbers, go up in adoptions every year. The way our computer system is set up, our adoption rate that the program gives us includes transfers and any adoptions to rescue organizations. So that's the total that would include public adoptions or private adoptions, rescue adoptions, and transfers.
Hey, Carrie, how does it work? That's one of my questions. What's the adoption protocol? So what's the procedure of adopting an animal? How does it work down there?
So even if like a stray comes in or to come down and adopt?
Let's say someone wants, because a lot of times, like, we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I live over in West Akron. So when we went to adopt a dog, first of all, it was a surprise. My wife surprised me, okay? But our tendency is to go to like a one-of-a-kind pets type of place, okay? Our natural tendency isn't to just go down to the pound. So how does it work as far as the adoption procedure? Like, let's say me as a future pet owner, I'm coming down to the pound to find a dog. What happens then?
Okay, well, basically, we suggest you come in and take a look, and we let you walk through the facility. We have the stray animals that come in, we put them on what they call 72-hour hold, which is what we're required to hold them by state law. We actually hold them a little bit longer than that. So if an animal comes in on a Monday, we're going to hold it till Friday before it's placed up for adoption. So the animals,
tell them why we do that.
Well, we do that to give the owners a chance to reclaim their animals, because we would rather they go back home where they came from. So we try to give them ample time to get to them. And we don't count days that we're closed. We don't count Sundays or holidays because the public's not able to come down and retrieve their animal. So those days don't count. So if, say, it's Memorial Day, so your animal came in on a Saturday, we're going to hold it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we're going to finally put your dog up for adoption on Friday. So if you come down and those are the animals you're looking at, because say there's a Chihuahua and, a Corgi or something really cute and little, and you're like, oh, I want a little dog, we allow members of the public to put a request hold in on them. Rescues are allowed to put requests in as well, but what that means is basically you would come in, you would fill out a piece of paper, and it'll say you're the first person eligible to adopt that dog when it comes up for adoption on the adoption day. So say you like the Corgi and it comes up for adoption on Friday. If you have the first request, you're the first person eligible to adopt it. Say you're interested in a dog that's been there over its 3-day hold. Basically, you would come down, you would see the animal, we'd have you get them out, visit with them. If you're like, yeah, I think I want to do this, we'll have you fill out our paperwork. It's pretty simple. We'll have you pay the adoption fee, which is $94. That includes vaccines, deworm, defleed, heartworm tested, spay or neutered, rabies vaccine, Bordetella if you ever want to kennel the dog, current your dog license. We do quite a bit of vetting for the $94. If the dog you like hasn't already had the surgery done, it'll stay at the facility until the surgery is complete. and our doctor will give you a call with the pickup time as soon as your animal's available. So, the animal will sit with us for a little bit if the surgery hasn't been done. If you came in on like a Friday evening and adopted, you probably won't be able to pick up till Monday, just because our doctor is not always in on the weekend. She comes in for emergencies, but that's not her normal schedule. And we are one of the luckiest animal controls probably in the state. I think there's a few others, or we may be the only one, but we do have a full-time veterinarian on staff with us.
Okay. What about, like, our dog is chipped? How does that work? Is that an automatic thing that you guys can find, like, right away?
Like if your dog came in as a stray? So if your dog were to end up somehow at our facility, we would log him in, make sure everything's correct in the computer, look him over for any kind of identification tags, anything like that. If your dog came in by a warden, we'd say, hey, have you been out there before? Do you know, like, an address? Have you had calls before? We have all kinds of paperwork that we have, wardens bring out, fill out. And then we would scan your dog for a microchip.
Okay.
Now, everyone's, microchip, and, we love the microchips too, but we've had little success rate with them because what happens a lot is it's on the pet owner to register them. Some require that you register them every year. Sometimes it's a one-time registry. Sometimes there's a fee associated with it. So a lot of times people get the chip at like a Pet Supplies Plus. They never register it. It comes back to a factory in Pennsylvania, and it went there in 2002, and now the factory's out of business. We do have success rates with dogs that come from organizations, like the One of a Kind Pets. A lot of times they put their name on the chip. So it would come back to like One of a Kind. We would contact them, and they would get a hold of you. Or, a lot of the humane societies, they put their name on the chip. So we've had a lot of success with that. But we always recommend licensing is the best way to get your pet back home. Number one, it's the law that you license your dog. But number two, a lot of people don't know this. If you have a current year license on your dog, the animal control agencies in the state of Ohio are required to hold your dog for 14 days. So it takes the hold from your dog at animal control from a 3-day hold to a 14-day hold. We're also required to send you out a certified letter. We usually will send a warden out to the house. So it gives your pet a little bit more insurance if your dog were to be picked up.
Okay. Well, then the next question, I think you already answered this, the intake policies. So you've pretty much, I think you covered that for the most part. The biggest thing that came up with Ashley and with the previous show was, and this also came up at One of a Kind, how are aggressive and sick dogs handled? Okay, so you get a dog that comes in, and it whether it had bit somebody previously and was brought in for that reason, or whether they bite somebody in the pound, or if you have a dog that's, and I'm sure that I don't want to group these together because I'm sure they're two separate categories, but
30 different, yeah. Well, if a dog comes in, whether it's released to us by an owner or it's one of our dogs that bite, since we are an animal control agency, we're a little different than, rescue organizations or humane societies. Our main role in the community and the reason we're there is to protect people from animals. So in the state law that a lot of people aren't familiar with, any dog that causes any kind of bodily harm to a person, kills another dog, causes injury, etc., can automatically be deemed dangerous. So a bite to a person would automatically, in the eyes of the state law, make the dog dangerous.
Okay.
So as part of our adoption policy, we don't adopt out dangerous dogs just for the safety of the public. Now, if it's an unprovoked bite, it would still kind of fall in the dangerous. I mean, depending on, it depended on the scenario, but if it was an unprovoked bite and we felt that there was the animal we feel could go on to another home, a lot of times we will contact rescue for those. We've had dogs that bite volunteers. We've had dogs that, bite people. That's one of the reasons we keep those a lot. If we know they have aggression issues in a separate part of the building, because we deal with the public and they don't always listen to us, and we'll say, don't put your fingers in the cage, don't put your fingers in the cage. And every day you go in there and someone's like, oh, hi, baby, with a finger in the cage. And it's like, hi, they're going to think your finger's a treat. Get it out of there. So we keep those dogs in a separate area of the building where you have to be accompanied by staff we can make sure that people aren't doing things like that or just opening cage doors and letting animals out that should not be handled just by anybody.
All right, so when does a place like One of a Kind Pets get involved? Well, first of all, Lee, let's back up. So you just touched on biters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What about dogs that are sick? How is that handled?
Well, for the safety of our population that we house, if we feel that there's something medically wrong with the dog that comes in, so say we have a stray dog and it's just acting really weird, like I mentioned, we have that full-time veterinarian, so we will go and get her, have her check it out, see what she thinks. She's licensed in the state of Ohio. She's been doing this for a long time. She knows her stuff. She'll say, well, it could be this or that, or, this. She might have us put it in a separate area just to kind of watch it, make sure it doesn't have anything contagious, that could be passed on to the other dogs that seem healthy and adoptable. If we see the dog and she's like, you know what, I put it on meds for this, and that, it's still not getting better, I don't know what we're going to be able to do for it here, we will contact rescues, like One of a Kind. We'll call them and be like, hey, we have this, and that. We can't treat this here. We can't do this. And a lot of times, One of a Kind's been really great to us. They'll come down and they'll pull those dogs for us.
And that's what she had said. Oh, God, who did I talk to over there?
I think you said you had talked to Janice.
I had talked to Janice. That's correct. Her card's out in my truck. And what Janice said was that's why, because I had asked, if it's $100 to adopt down at the pound, why is it $300 here at One of a Kind? And she said that a lot of that cost is from medical expenses that go into helping those animals come along. So
the medical is not cheap. It's continued to rise and rise and rise, and it takes a large portion of everyone's budget just to do the basic necessities. I mean, even to take your own animal to the vet, you walk in there for a shot and, just a checkup, and you're at $85. So it is expensive, but we've been able through, a lot of people don't know this either, that back to the licensing, a lot of your animal control agencies or dog wardens offices, everyone wants them to do more and do more and do more, and with doing more comes more funding, unfortunately. And a lot of people don't know that they are funded by license sales. The majority of their money comes from license sales. So to help your local animal control, you should, number one, be buying your license because it's law. It's the best way to get your animal back home, and it also gives the money, 100% of it goes into the Dog and Kennel Fund, which supports your local shelter. So through increasing our license sales, we've been able to do more, like do our own in-house spay-neuter surgeries, get the full-time veterinarian. We are able to treat now in-house for heartworm-positive dogs. I don't know if you're familiar with that. We never used to be able to do that.
Okay.
So through increasing our funding to license sales, we can do more and more.
Okay. And again, I didn't put this. I had sent you guys some questions in advance, and I don't want to throw a curveball at you. But I guess a question that I would have is a dog that is considered aggressive or a biter, are they kind of doomed? I mean, is that it for them? I mean, because the problem is I wouldn't think that you would put them like right up front in front of people that say, here, come get Fluffy, even though Fluffy just tore the mailman's calf off. You know what I mean? So what?
That's, like I said, that's why we don't put those dogs in the public, area. I mean, we've had some really bad cases that have come through the facility. Like we've had dogs that have disemboweled people. We've had dogs that have ripped children's ears off. We've had dogs that have put, grown men in ICU for weeks at a time. So those are the kind of dogs that we like to keep more in the secluded area. Like I said, that staff would need to come through. Some of the dogs with that severe of a case have been court ordered to stay with us. In that case, it's going to be up to the court, whatever they decide. If the dog's being, mouthy and, biting at people and biting at the leash, some of that's just behavior, and rescues can work with that, and we will contact them and be like, hey, this one's doing this, that, and the other thing. Our director likes to say a lot, every dog writes their own ticket. And by saying that, she's meaning, this dog, is continuously having behavior issues, and it's escalating, and more people are potentially going to get hurt. Ashley even shared a story that she was down on the corner, I think, and the dog started humping her, and she had to do like a headlock and all kinds of crazy stuff on the sidewalk there. And that's the kind of stuff we try to avoid happening. So if an animal starts showing behaviors like that, we try to move them to a more secluded area to limit their handling with people that maybe shouldn't be handling them, and we contact rescue. Now, unfortunately, sometimes if the rescue agencies are full, we will have to euthanize them because we can't hold them indefinitely. It's not fair to the dog. It's only going to worsen their behavior to limit their contact for even longer. So I don't know if that answers your question, or
it does. And I guess and here's why I'm stuck in the middle, right? Because we're trying to literally give. First of all, I'll tell you straight up, and I do want to meet you guys. Okay, I had no idea. I mean, I kind of did, but I had no idea that this issue was so passionate. This issue is almost as passionate as polarizing as gun control in the election. Okay, so
kids and pets it's a serious,
yeah. So I mean, I didn't realize what we had started, what we were kind of getting thrust in the middle of. But at the same time, I guess the biggest thing that I hear, and I don't want to say from the other side, but the biggest thing that I hear from a lot of these rescue places is there any way, and I'm sure that I don't think this would even be possible, but is there any way that we can become a kill-free county? Is that even an option? Would it ever work? I mean, the problem is if you get some crazy aggressive dog that was like stuck in some dog fighting ring and it gets turned in, I mean, it's not like you can have anybody adopt it, and you can't, even if you put it in a rescue situation, you're potentially putting the rescue people at harm. So
the animal control facility is not a rescue.
Okay.
It's a totally separate function.
Okay.
The legal requirement that the county has one. It cannot become a no-kill facility because courts can order animals to be destroyed.
Okay.
If your dog gets loose, bites a kid's arm off, they can find that dog. You'll be charged with any number of criminal charges. If the court that is hearing that case decides this is a dangerous dog that needs to be put down, it's animal control's legal requirement to do that.
Okay.
So to suggest that that's, what we should be heading in that direction, legally that's not feasible. That's
right.
not the function of animal control. It's not a rescue organization.
I get it.
It functions in a lot of ways like a rescue in certain areas, and certainly the staff down there is super dedicated. The amount of work that they put into trying to get some of these long-term resident dogs adopted is Herculean. So, it certainly has a lot of those same qualities that some of these rescues have, but it's not feasible legally to try and push toward a no-kill facility. And the fact that we're 92% live outcomes is pretty extraordinary.
Okay.
We have not euthanized a dog for space in well over 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so, another thing, too, is a lot of people don't know this, is, if you had an elderly pet that, you're like, oh, he's not doing good, I think it's time we put him down, and the vet's telling you it's $300. If you have a current year license for that dog, no matter the size or breed, it's going to cost you $25 at our place.
Okay.
So we take in a lot of euthanasia that way, so animals aren't suffering because people can't afford to take them to their veterinarian. The same with cats. So I think that's not a service we plan on getting rid of anytime soon because, we are there to serve the public. We take in a lot of animals that way because we are a lot less than a lot of the veterinarians.
This will sound like a gross and strange question, okay? And the only reason I ask is because I had to deal with this. Our dog, we had a black lab, and we had just had a baby, and the lab wasn't getting the attention anymore, and she started eating everything, and I think she ate one of my wife's underwire on a bra, and she ended up getting punctured intestines, and ended up having to have surgery, and she ended up dying from the sepsis. Okay, but the question is, can people dispose of a dead dog with you guys? I mean, how does that even work? What are we supposed to?
Well, because in the city of Akron, they have laws. You're not allowed to bury your pet in the city of Akron. A lot of people can't afford cremation services for their pet. So if you're in an apartment building in Akron, you're kind of stuck. We will accept your animal if it has already passed on its own. The fee is the same for that. It's $25.
Okay.
And we will handle that for you. Because a lot of people, they don't know what to do. They're like, I woke up this morning and my cat's dead. What do I do?
Right.
And it's like, well, we can help you out so you're not sitting there, with it for hours trying to figure out what you're going to do with it. And, because it's hard enough already when something like that happens.
We ended up making a coffin. Her name was Micah. I made a coffin for her. It was heart-wrenching.
Oh.
Drove her down to Dayton, to Yellow Springs, to my in-laws' property, and buried her nose to nose with Splinter. So Splinter and Micah are in my in-laws' backyard right now down in Yellow Springs. So, all right, but ladies, I'm going to ask one last question, okay? If we put a bow on what you had to say today, and what is the main message that you would like to communicate?
I think the main message is come see what we're about. Instead of listening to the rhetoric or what people are, putting on Facebook or sort of the animosity people want to drum up, come down to our facility. It's a state-of-the-art facility. It's one of the best in the state. We have an amazing staff down there. We love having volunteers come and help us out. We love having visitors. Come see us. Come see the animals that we've got. We've got, great people who are there every day to help the public. And, it's a wonderful place that I think sometimes gets caught in the crosshairs as you're starting to understand now of a very passionate debate about what's the best thing to do for animals.
A brief follow-up to that, if I were to come down, are there where the animals are viewed, can I take pictures and pop them up and help animals get adopted?
That's such a hot-button issue. It's funny that you asked that. If you come down as a volunteer and you're working with animals, we ask that you not engage with your camera or your phone, because we like to tell all the volunteers, these are strays. We don't know anything about these animals. We cannot guarantee what type of behavior they're going to exhibit. And I always call myself the fun governor because I'm the attorney who handles all of the risk management on the animals in the facility. It's a safety issue. We need you fully focused on the dog. If you're handling a dog, you can't be on the phone. It's sort of like texting and driving. It's, texting and bowling.
Okay.
But if you want to come down and you want to walk a dog, if you want to pet a cat and socialize these animals, we'd love to have you.
Well, here's why I ask. I went to, One of a Kind when I was getting ready to do the last show. And, after I finished the interview, I took a few pictures of some of the, the dogs and cats around. And like that weekend, they adopted out like 75 animals. So I popped them up on Facebook, and everybody's like, oh, and then I got a whole bunch of guys that were texting me like angry at me because they ended up getting another dog or a cat or whatever because their wives or kids dragged them down to One of a Kind. So I didn't know, Dick Goddard used to do that, right? Where he takes pictures of the animals and gets them up there.
Carrie does an amazing job. She puts together videos, and they're narrated, and there's great pictures of these animals. Go to our Facebook page, share those, tag people in them, do whatever you can to promote those pictures.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies, seriously, I really do appreciate you guys coming on, and I hope you feel that we were fair. And please feel free to check out the show. I mean, we'll get back to college basketball some other time, Roddy. But seriously,
we'd love to have you come down and do a show from our adopt-a-thon.
Hey, when is that? Just so our audience knows.
We've got the Can Do event coming up at the end of April 28th. It's an amnesty program. If you have not yet gotten your license renewed, on April 28th, you can go to Acme on Manchester Road, Acme number 1, the Acme in Cuyahoga Falls. If you bring in a can of pet food, we'll waive the late fee to get your registration up to date.
I'm pretty sure that me and Kate fall in that category right now.
I'll hold it against you. We'll see you on the 28th at Acme.
All right. We got to go renew the dog's license. I forgot to do that. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for being on tonight. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for being here.
Take care.
Wow.
Now what?
I got nothing.
Here's the thing.
We can't end on that note.
No, so coaching scandals, the FBI wiretaps.
Are you going back to that?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay. All right. So first of all, I see that I see that Ashley, friend of show, has chimed in. Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Whatever, Ashley, love you, but we gave you a full show, right? So, but just about a full show, right?
She had. Yeah.
And we appreciate your opinion. You can keep commenting, but what I'm saying is we wanted to let. I don't want to say them, but we wanted to
give them an opportunity to share their side.
Yes. So
we have to be fair.
It's a very passionate issue.
It is.
Hey, and we are right at an hour just about. So Moon Man yelled at us because our shows have been running.
Whoa, look at the look you're getting right now.
We're doing great right now.
I know.
We can go 5.
That's what
this is great.
Moon Man yelled at us. Don't get away from there. You're close. You're too close. There you go. Moon Man yelled at us. Moon, she was sitting up. She was hovering. What?
Yep, she was hovering.
Could have been another rookie mistake there. All right, Moon Man yelled at us that our shows go too long, so we're going to close this one down. But what do you got? You heard all that. I hate the fact that you have to.
No, it's a good thing. We don't have the technology yet.
No, I'm talking about what they said. What's your take on it? You talk for a bit.
I think that folks need to see it for themselves. I don't know much about the Summit County animal control people. I've never been there, but I think what she said was absolutely right. Instead of listening and reading what other people are saying, regardless if it's true or not, take a trip, go see it, make your call on your own.
I've been there.
I haven't been. I would like to do the adopt-a-thon if we have an opportunity.
Not for years. I got 2 words.
Okay.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. Do they drive off a cliff at the end?
They would climb. I told this on the last show. They would literally climb the fence. I had a 6-foot privacy fence. They would hop right over the thing and take off together. Okay. The warden caught them 3 times, honey. Yeah. Kate. Yeah. How you doing, Kate? Yeah. 3 times. And he knew us, right? It was to the point where it's like he's running like
nope.
Hey, now listen. Nope, now hold on. You bailed him out. You did. Yeah. What was that? There goes the mic. Well, there goes the boom mic. We got a gaffer now. A gaffer and a grip. He's our grip.
And I've lost my microphone.
He turned it off. It turned off.
Oh. Don't do that.
All right. So the point is, guys, we've been there to bail them out. I know my wife's done it 3 or 4 times. Has been down there, and I don't remember it being a that bad an experience. You got to identify them. That's the issue.
Yeah, right? And I think I'll talk to Mrs. Roddy, and maybe we take a little trip over there and see what's there.
Oh snap! There's a dog coming.
I'm not saying that.
There's a dog coming. There's a dog coming.
No.
Owen Guy says hi, Roddy.
Friends from Dayton. Shout out to the Guy family. We love you.
All right.
I'm glad to see that you enjoyed Disney.
I'm getting the sign to wrap. Okay. Once again, folks, we've had a lot of fun spending some time with you here tonight. Hey, make sure you enjoy watching the end of this year's tournament this upcoming weekend. And to everybody that celebrates the resurrection, happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter.
Hey, don't forget to be a part of our 330 to go shirt selfie contest on Friday.
We are not eligible.
330 shirt selfie contest.
330 shirt.
Doesn't
selfie.
have to be a 330 to go shirt.
Shirt. Okay,
and we are not eligible.
330. Okay, so get those selfie shirts.
We aren't eligible,
up,
guys.
and we will go ahead and we'll draw and we'll give away an Acme gift card. You know what? We're also going to give away.
What is that?
He doesn't know it yet, but we're going to give away a haircut at LaBelle's.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not eligible for that either.
That'll be on me. All right, so make sure couples are encouraged to send in their photos together. So you're going to get an Acme gift card and a haircut at LaBelle's if you win that selfie contest.
Woo!
Okay? And drum roll.
Guess what? Can I say it? Can I say it?
Do it.
It's tribe time, folks.
It's tribe time, baby.
Baseball season starts tomorrow night for our tribe in Seattle, 10:05. Let's go. March to the World Series right now.
And as a result, the next show that you're going to see from us will be John Adams is in the studio right now.
Yes.
Next show you're going to see will be from us, downtown Cleveland.
From the corner of Carnegie and Ontario.
Coming to you live on opening day.
Yes.
Opening day coverage. But until then, folks, I don't know where I'm going, but there ain't no sense in being late. Say goodnight, Shirley.
Good night, Shirley. And go Tribe.
This podcast is a copyright of Moon Garden Media.
Production by
Steve Bader.
Steve Bader.
Thanks, Moon Man.
Oh, just a lot of peanut butter.